on this episode of Raising the Wild Ones podcast. And we are talking to a guy named Keith Platte today, and he is our resident expert on all things artificial intelligence.
And so I think that's where we're headed, is that we will have such a skepticism that we don't know what's real and what's genuine. But then there may be some people who are, I would want to say that AI is neutral, but it's not.
Raising the Wild Ones podcast.
Bam, there it is.
The machine is on.
The machine has begun. Welcome to Raising the Wild Ones podcast. I'm Dustin over here. Caleb's down yonder. And we are talking to a guy named Keith Platte today. He's a really cool dude. I've known him for quite some time now. And he is actually the associate pastor at First Baptist here in Brownwood, where we are. And he is our resident expert on all things artificial intelligence. Actually, he gave a really cool talk about artificial intelligence a couple months back, and we heard from actually a listener. Your mom's a listener, so I'm going to say a listener.
And she's a Patreon member.
And a Patreon member, that too.
Nice.
And so we heard from a supporter of Raising the Wild Ones about how good this was. So, you know what? Before we get started, though, Keith has brought some fire in the way of dad jokes. Maybe. I don't know. He said he's figuring it out. So, Keith, you want to lead us off with a dad joke here?
All right, sure. So I gave the same prompt to both ChatGPT and Gemini to see what kind of dad joke they would give us. The prompt is, give me a good dad joke on Christmas. So the first one from ChatGPT is, why did Santa go to music school? Because he wanted to improve his rap skills.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Not
bad. So from Gemini, which I actually went to first and submitted the prompt, and it gave me pretty much the same thing. First out of the box, here's a classic one for you. Why did Santa go to music school? Because he wanted to improve his rapping skills.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pretty
so
close.
they're getting their data from the same place, probably. From the same website, probably, that pulls up first on Google.
Pull up first. There we go. Well, that's not a terrible dad joke.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No, it's not terrible.
It's one we've never heard before, for sure.
All right, we'll give you a couple more. What do you get when you cross a snowman and a vampire? Frostbite.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
That one's actually pretty good. That's a good one.
All right, what is Santa's favorite state? Other than Texas, of course.
Yes.
Texas. What?
Idaho.
Okay. They're getting better.
That's it. Yeah.
It's like AI is learning. It's like it's improving.
That's right. Yeah. I've had it try to tell me some jokes before, and like they were just wrong. They were just awful. So
They're just awful.
I
So
got
it's
one
getting
from ChatGPT. I'll read it real quick. I started a band called 999 Megabytes. We still haven't gotten a gig.
nice.
That wasn't bad.
Okay, that's not
The
bad.
grasp that it
That's
has
not
on
bad.
language, if it's not pulling it from somewhere else, the grasp that it's getting on language is getting better for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I guess we can go ahead and jump into the topic here and talk about AI. I'm going to fire off with a question, maybe a controversial question. Is AI good or bad? Ooh, that's a good place to start.
Ooh,
maybe.
yeah.
You know.
Okay, so I would want to say that AI is neutral, but it's not. Because so if the internet, let's say that maybe the internet is neutral. The internet is kind of it's a platform that's completely neutral because you can put whatever you want to on there. Now it's regulated, yes, but fairly neutral because you could put anything on there, you could get anything off of there. The difference with AI is that a company is feeding it information. Now it's scraping the internet for all kinds of data, and whatever's being put into it is what it's learning from, quote unquote, learning from. But it's not neutral because somebody has to code it, and somebody has those inherent biases built into it. So Grok has gotten in trouble for this, and other people have been have pointed out what some of these biases have been. But maybe you've seen how I think it was Grok that had like Nazi tendencies. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
basically from where it got stuff from the internet. It's just kind of regurgitating back to us. So it's not good because it's a product of fallen humanity.
Interesting. Grok is the one that's Twitter. Is it Twitter's
That's
version?
Twitter's one. Yeah, that's Elon
Yeah,
Musk's.
it's Twitter's version. That's the
Yeah,
one that
they've since
the one
patched that specifically because
it's
that's kind
patched
of
out
a black eye
Nazis. Yeah,
on the stuff that you want to be out there.
I could totally see that. Well, cool. So it is a product of a fallen world. Well, that's a pretty cool, interesting way to phrase that. I kind of like the way you said it there. How about with the church? Like, is it is it good to
Yeah.
use AI in the church? Through the church, or just how should we maybe approach it in those instances?
Yeah, so even though I wouldn't say that it's necessarily good. It's not inherently evil either. It's a tool. The way, like I said, the internet is neutral. The internet is also a tool. Now, you can use the internet for wildly evil things, but you can also use the internet for fantastically good things. If you're spreading the gospel, obviously that's a good thing. But if you're using it to traffic people or to spread hate, that's not
Mm-hmm.
good. So AI can be used for good things. It kind of depends on how you use it. Um, so so yeah, uh, it's all kind of in the nature of what you're excuse me, what you're using it for. Um, and in the church, uh, now I know that from my side of things, as a staff member of a church, there's definitely temptations there to use it for things that I should be doing as a minister. So you could go to the internet and you could find sermons online. So this was before AI was prevalent. You could find sermons online that somebody else has written, and you could preach those sermons like they were your own sermons. The same thing could be done with AI. The only different thing is that someone can't go out and search and find the sermon that I preached. So
Mhm.
it's kind of taking and giving it some anonymity. So if I had looser morals and I didn't care, then I could get my sermon from ChatGPT and use that. But that's not what ministry is. That's not what the Spirit has empowered ministers to do, to use ChatGPT that way, to use the internet that way. Preaching the word, proclaiming the gospel, proclaiming the good news should be something that comes from the heart because it's something that has transformed my heart, your heart, the heart of whoever's proclaiming the good news, right? So this is one of the things that I said in the presentation that I made was that AI can give you information, true. Like you could use it for research. So AI can give you information, but only the Spirit can provide transformation. So
Mhm.
if the Spirit is doing something in me, if I'm learning something, whether it's through directly reading only God's word, or through studying books that other people have written, or through studying research that's out there on the internet, or whatever it is, if the Spirit is transforming my heart through those different things, that's the Spirit at work within me, and that's what I then turn and give to the congregation. But if I'm just putting in putting a prompt in and just getting, okay, here's an entire sermon, and I just spit out that sermon, and maybe I could, jazz it up a little bit and put some things here there that make it look like it's mine. That is not truthful. That's not what that's not what we're here as ministers to do. So that's kind of the difference between what a good way and a bad way could be for using AI in the church.
And for people out there listening, you can put a prompt in, say like, give me a sermon over Mark chapter 12 or something, and it will give it to you in about 5 seconds. I put in it's been a while, but I put in like, give me a rap song about chickens, and it gave me that rap song and like very quickly, and it was very good.
Yeah.
You know, so
And
I mean, it can do it quickly.
right. And probably be more theologically sound than a lot of sermons out there.
Right.
Have
You
you
can
ever,
even
or go ahead.
you could even do it in like the style of your favorite, pastor or your hero. If Billy Graham were your hero, you could say, "Give it to me in the style of Billy Graham," or Timothy Keller, or whoever it is, and it would produce it in that like manner.
And what are the chances that when it gives you that some of those theological ideas are wrong or not in line with, say, the biblical text?
Yeah, so it's gotten better, but it used to be that there were a lot more hallucinations, what's called hallucinations for AI, things that it's so large language models, which is what we're talking about, basically kind of starts like whenever you type in your phone, um, you type in a couple words on your phone, and it's like predictive texting the next thing that you're going to type, and you just kind of keep pressing that button of predictive text. That's kind of what the large language models are doing. They're using all kinds of language and information to basically determine what's going to be the next word, compared to what the last words were, compared to what all the information around it is. So it's basically just kind of predictive text, like on steroids, though. And so it can hallucinate, and it thinks what you might think you're going to say next, and it would be totally wild and totally different. But yeah, that's one of the dangers of using it. And who was it? RFK Jr. got in trouble for using it for presenting something to Congress, and it made up fake sources. So he started out, yeah, and this is the danger with AI too, is if you start out with, the outcome that you want and tell AI to back that up and give me all of, give me all this information to support the conclusion that I've already got. That's when you're in trouble. And that's what pastors could be in trouble with as well. If you've got a theological conclusion that you've already arrived at, and you say, okay, now back that up with Scripture. No, Scripture, through the Holy Spirit, leads us to the conclusion, right? Not the other way around.
Man, I mean, I won't lie. I totally just Googled here, not Googled. I went to Gemini and I asked it to make me a sermon on John 3:16 in the style of Spurgeon, just to see what would come out. And it came out, I mean, it came out with a big, and it titled it The Sword and Trowel, which that's all I've read is literally the title. But I mean, it gave out bullet points. It gave out, talk about this, 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 and this. And I mean, it's a full blown thing and all within a matter of seconds. I mean, I didn't even think about that. Maybe I'm not a terrible person to think I should get AI to write my sermons, but like, I didn't even think about like,
So
I could get AI to write a sermon, but
Yeah.
I mean, there it is right there.
How would you tell if you're going to church and your preacher's giving you a Chat GPT sermon?
I don't know. I don't know how you'd be able to tell.
Yeah, you may not be able to tell. Yeah.
You may not be able to tell from their words. Hopefully, you'd be able to tell from the movement of the Spirit. But if the word is being preached, hopefully the Spirit will be in the word anyway. So
yeah,
even through the reading of God's word, the Spirit can move, will move, should move. So, but for pastors, for church leaders, integrity and truthfulness is what we ought to be about.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
But one of the things that I led off with in whenever I did my talk was that one, we're made in God's image, and so as image bearers of God, God made us different than the rest of creation, right? And He gave us a mandate to care for creation. Well, He also invites us in His own creative order to be creative, and so that is part of our creativity. Now AI has been part of that creativity, but we shouldn't put everything else on a machine to do all the creative work for us. And so we delight in creativity, in finding and seeing and looking. I mean, look all around you at the beautiful architecture and the buildings and the artwork, and everything that other people have created, and that's for our enjoyment. It's for it's nice, it's good, and so that's part of who we are as God's image bearers. Is we are also invited into that creative order with God. So, but we're
In
also to be have integrity and truthfulness.
Yeah. And we had Dr. Ted Hildebrand on. It's been a little while back now, but he has a website called Biblical E-Learning, if I remember correctly. But
Okay.
part of what he does is he uses AI to help translate the Bible into different languages, if I remember correctly. And he has all these different sermons and different things he does.
Yeah.
And he uses AI in a positive way. And he was like, why not? It's there. It's gonna be a massive part of society. So why not use it for good? So that was one of the ways he used it, or is currently using it for good. So how are ways people are using it in the church in good ways, with integrity?
Sure. Um, there are some ways like you can use AI for, lots of different things, but one of the best ways that I've found it is like if you want to repurpose your content, like say if you want to take our this podcast here and you want to post short short clips of it, you can put this into various different AI models, and it will spit out, like 30 seconds of this clip or 45 seconds of another clip, and it will kind of wrap it for you to be a good social media little post or a hook. And so, those are some good things because that takes time that somebody on staff would have been doing or could have been doing those things. And you don't have to be a video editor. And that's one of the things that me as an associate pastor, I get to do all those like little tiny things that there's nobody on staff for. So if we're creating graphics for social media, or if we're creating graphics for the next sermon series, I used to spend hours, sometimes days, on the graphics that we would do for just like a sermon series graphic. Just it's behind the pastor on the slide, and then it's on all of our promotional stuff. And I would make like 5 or 6 for the next upcoming series, and let our pastor, pick which one he wanted to use. And I would spend hours and hours and hours because I didn't go to school for graphic design. I went to school for theology, but I don't have to be a graphic designer. I don't have to know, all of Adobe products anymore, because I can put it into Canva, or I can put it into, whatever, and have the bare bones of it done if I can come up with the prompt and come up with the words that I want to use for that graphic design. So you don't have to be the professional anymore, or have all of the design chops. So stuff like that it's really good for studying. Logos now has I was just on there yesterday with Logos, and they have some new AI models built into Logos now. So
Hmm.
And you
it
want to tell our
can really
listeners
help in
maybe
learning. What now?
I just want to tell our listeners a little bit about what Logos is. I mean, that it's you could tell them kind of because it's meant for not foreign language, but biblical languages and stuff like that, isn't it?
Well, it's a whole Bible study platform. So you can buy your commentaries on there, you can buy books on there, you can buy, and it's all kind of integrated. So if I'm researching Philippians, and every book that I've bought on there kind of can come up and cross-reference one another, then it just kind of creates a really easy space digitally for me to study, one thing. Um, and you
And
can
it's what I
subscribe
use.
to it.
Yeah. It's just like the Bible I have on my phone too. You can have like I've got the free version of it though.
Yeah, me too. So
Yeah.
I don't pay like $1,000 a year for
Yeah.
a logo
All
subscription.
the fancy stuff.
Now, if they sponsor you guys, that's one thing.
Hey, if they want to sponsor us, reach out.
Hey, yeah,
We're
There you go.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We would love a sponsorship and 2 comped $1,000, year deals.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So, I mean, I'm just trying to sit here and kind of think about like the other implications of, I guess, what would like a layperson, what could they use? Because I know the temptation's probably really easily there to be like, well, I'm teaching in like 45 minutes and I need an outline. And, it's like, how is there a way that we can use AI as maybe to help with those things, but not totally do those things? I mean, that's probably a weird
Sure.
question
Yeah.
to ask,
And
but
so this is kind of what I've come up with for myself, and I have recommended for a couple others who have asked about it, is don't give AI anything that you wouldn't give to an editor or to an intern. So if I'm writing something and I want somebody to look over it, Claude AI is fantastic as an editor. So I could type up my sermon manuscript, and I did this just the other day. I'm preaching on December 28th, and so I typed up all of my sermon, put all my notes in, and I said, "Hey, I'm preaching over this. Would you look at this? Look at what I've typed, and I want you to give me suggestions on syntax and clarity." And it's really great at doing something like that. And I would ask an editor to do that for me or a friend to do that for me. And the difference is that AI would do it in 25 seconds, to where, it might take, an hour for a friend to do something like that, or an editor to do that. Also, I wouldn't have an intern type out a sermon for me. I might have an intern help me look up and research some things, or to look over something that I've already typed, but I wouldn't have it write up an email for me. I might give an intern some projects to work on that I would oversee, but that's kind of the general rule of thumb that I usually take.
all right, yeah.
But fantastic at editing things. One way that you can usually tell if you're reading online if somebody has used AI is that there's how like there's a hyphen, like whenever you like double hyphen something, it's like that long hyphen. AI likes to use that a lot. So that's a good indicator because we don't typically use that. People don't usually typically use that. I don't even know what it's called. So, but AI uses it a lot. So if you see that on articles somewhere, also I just saw before I gave my presentation, I just saw an article that was 50% or more of articles online are now written by AI.
That doesn't surprise me.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of, I guess it's kind of scary at some point too, to realize that, do you think AI could take the creativity out of things and those sorts of ways when it comes to like writing or maybe even with photos and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think what is really scary and what can be problematic is that so kids that are graduating this year don't know any high school without AI. So their creativity is totally become a microwave generation. Instead of sitting down with a pen and paper and trying to think things through, or find a process to do something. Well, all I have to do is just go to ChatGPT. My daughter's 13 years old, and she's like, "Dad, can I just ChatGPT this?" And I said, "No, you're going to think through the problem." And so, processing things, being creative, looking for creative ways around a problem, or looking for creative ways to create something, is being totally circumvented by AI, if that's our go-to. So I think the discipline is I have to tell myself, no, I want to do this on my own.
Yeah, and I feel like kids nowadays, they can say, "I need a paper written. Write this paper for me." There it is. Hey, I don't know how to do this math problem. Here's a picture of it, and then here's the
Yeah.
answer. Like they don't have to do anything. And I don't know if y'all saw this. I think Elon Musk recently said something like, within 20 years, he thinks money's basically going to be pointless because AI is going to essentially take over everything and like most aspects, and there's not going to be a point to make money anymore because of just of how prevalent AI is going to be in our society. I don't know how
Hmm.
true that is, but
Also
something to
gotta
think
say,
I don't
about.
know that all of us live in the same world that Elon Musk lives in.
That is very
I
true.
was about to say
He
those of
also
us who
said he's
have
making a flying car.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's like I think my 30-year mortgage will still be in come due even in 20 years. You know, when
That's
money's
right.
yeah, I
I've
not
think
still
king
got
so.
my
anymore,
piggy bank in my room.
they're still
Yes.
gonna want my mortgage payment every month, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I would like to say, just kind of about AI in the church, is that I kind of already alluded to this and kind of hinted at this, but ministry is always and always will be an embodied thing. You know, you can type into Chat GPT or whatever, um, a response, and ask for a response. You know, if you don't have the answer for something, and try and get a response, and it may give you something theological back to it. But AI can't go sit with a widow who's just
Mhm.
lost her husband. It can't be there for the family that the husband has just lost his job, and it can't be there. We're we're in the Christmas season right now. We're in the Advent season, and that's what we celebrate, is we celebrate the embodied Son of God who came to earth in the incarnation. You know, that is the ministry that he led, that he uh, led for us as an example for us, not only for us, but also as an example for us. And so that is what ministry ought to be, is it will always be embodied.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're absolutely right there. I mean, that's so true. Is AI is not going to go sit with that hurting couple or that that kid that
Yeah.
needs somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
I guess looking down to the road in 20 years, like old Elon Musk said, in 20 years, like how do you think in 20 years we're going to look back on this point now and say like, man, that AI thing really has messed it all up, or is it all like, I mean, what do you think kind of like looking ahead towards the future and just as it continues to grow and get better? I mean, I was looking at this is just total side note, but I've used AI to mess with like thumbnails for our podcast and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was looking at some of the early ones Caleb made where he was trying to make a guy in the back of a truck with a deer, and there's like 14 deers and a guitar
Yeah.
just leaning up against a tree,
Yeah.
and it's like, what is going on with this? And then like every time you try to say put words in it, the words are all misspelled, and it's like all this just wild stuff. And then I'm looking at like one that I made last week, and it's like, oh man, it has really come a long way from that one that Caleb was like, this one's a really good one, Dustin. The deer only
And the guy's
has,
sitting on top of the deer in the back of the truck. Yeah.
yeah, like this
Yeah.
one's the best one, and the dude's sitting on a deer, and it's like,
Yeah, no, no, it's increasingly become to where you if it's just a still image, you can hardly tell sometimes what's reality and what's not.
yeah,
And it's increasingly gotten better with video. Um, you could definitely tell, like if you're scrolling through reels on Instagram or Facebook, where some of them are definitely uh, created by AI. But sometimes it takes a little while for us to decipher that. And so I think that's where we're headed, is that we will have such a skepticism that we don't know what's real and
yeah,
what's genuine. But then there may be some people who are so online that whatever they're experiencing is real to them. So, because even it won't matter that it's not real. I enjoyed it because it was online, therefore that makes it real.
wow, that's That's kind of
So
wild to stop and think about there.
yeah, no. One of the things that I gave in the talk is just kind of uh, a way that AI could go bad that may seem good at first. Like a simple example would be, let's say you've got a widow in your church, and a company. Maybe it's the company, the funeral home company or whatever, like has an AI model that's like, for just $100, we will take the voice recordings and the pictures that you've got of your husband, and we'll create an AI model of him, and put it like in a digital photo frame that will move, and so it becomes like a Harry Potter like picture, you know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then it moves, but then also talks, and that can seem comforting to a widow, right? Like that would be something that you're like, yeah, yeah, she gets to hold on, but that's not what God has designed for us. To keep clinging on uh, s- to the hope that's no longer there. Right, because he's not there. You're not interchanging or exchanging anything with him anymore. You're doing it with bits and bytes and a digital photo frame. And then to make it even weirder, let's say on the backside of that, the company that created that digital photo frame and everything, well, they've got ads that and your husband is like, hey, don't you think you need to go out and pick up some more Tide?
Oh
Because
gosh.
it's on sale this week.
Wow. Yeah.
Or just kind of the implications that that can be there. It could be, Amazon products or groceries or even political advertisements, because there's not really all that much regulation on it right now. And so someone could totally take advantage of a situation that seems at the beginning something that just seems like, yeah, we're here to help this lady, but then you've totally made it something dirty and evil and just taking advantage of. So.
Man, you throwing out the whole ads thing. I mean, I was kind of thinking of the humanity side of it and how it would just be you're holding on to something that's not really there, and then you threw in ads, and it's like, gosh, I didn't even think about that, but it's like you're like sitting there talking to your, that loved one that's gone. It's like, who I think you should vote for?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
no, exactly.
oh man, like, gosh, like
No, if
that's
somebody can make money off of it, then they will.
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
d deep thoughts with Keith Platte right there. I go ahead and stake it right here that there's going to be weird ads with AI in 20 years. I'm going to say it. Make a
Oh,
prediction.
this year, next year for sure.
It's
Oh yeah.
this year, next year. Oh
Faster than
yeah,
you'd think.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
I don't. I'm trying to think. You got anything else you kind of want to add, kind of as we kind of start to come to a close here,
I
Keith?
know
Anything else?
Dustin, you've got your question.
Oh, do you want me to ask that question? I can ask that question. Okay, I heard. Okay, sometimes I listen to like weird podcasts and stuff. I just do
Okay, down
sometimes.
the rabbit hole we go. Yeah.
This
Yes.
is going to be the rabbit hole. Do you think like, I mean, you start talking like the idea of spiritual warfare and stuff like that. Do you think since AI is just a tool that, Satan could use AI to corrupt and twist, and so as we continue to go down that, 20-year lifespan, and I mean, I mean, what do you think on like that kind of stuff, right?
Um, yeah, I think Satan will use anything that we let him get a foothold in, right? So if, you know, we we have scripture that tells us what evil is. We have scripture that tells us what good is, and to not let the evil one get a foothold. Uh, and so, whatever those things are that could be a foothold that draw you away from God, Satan will use those things, even good things in our lives. Satan will use them. He will pervert them and use them because that's what he did in the garden, right? That's what sin is. Sin is something that's good that's perverted, it's twisted, it's bent. That's one of the words of sin in the Old Testament is a nature of it being bent. And so anything that could be used for good, Satan could use for bad. And so, yeah, I think that's it. Now, is it the road to the Antichrist? No, I don't think so. Not not necessarily.
Oh, I wasn't going to
To
Antichrist.
an Antichrist, maybe. Yeah.
To
And
an
Antichrist, yeah.
Is the Antichrist going to be artificial intelligence? There we go. No.
Yeah.
What you got? You got anything to add, Caleb? Kind of as we start to come to a close here.
I think I'm good. Do you have anything you want to close us with?
Do you guys have any tools that y'all use for AI creation or anything like
I've
that?
used AI. I used AI a few times to make those baby talking face videos.
Yes.
We did that a few times. We made one for our church at one point. Dustin showed a picture of a blue talking, like it was. I don't remember exactly what it was. It's been a little while since we did that.
It was.
But
It was to introduce going from one service to two services.
Oh
And
yes.
So like.
yes.
Oh yeah, I think Blue showed that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
him talking, and then I was a baby face person, like another guy named Mickey
Holding a
was in it,
fish.
holding a fish, which was. And I was the one who got all the pictures together. So he's like, Dustin, I just need a picture
So
of these four.
he made the
Yeah.
pictures. I made the video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
So that's
And I use-
that's one example.
I'll use.
I made
Gemini,
myself as a Bigfoot too.
Yeah, you did.
Nice.
He was talking as Bigfoot in a short that we did. That was
Yeah.
a good one. That was
So-
a good one.
So we've done great with it so far.
So yeah, as grown men who use it like they're 10-year-old boys. Sure.
Yes, pretty much.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I use it for
so our
thumbnails
pastor,
and stuff like that. But
yes, for sure. Our pastor. Now, I've never heard Blue preach before, but every pastor kind of has their go-to phrases and words and stuff that they say. Our pastor, whenever he's wrapping up the sermon, will say, perhaps God's calling you to respond in this way, or perhaps God's calling you to join our church in membership, perhaps. And so whenever my son picked up on that about a year or so ago, he was like, Dad, he says perhaps a lot whenever he's getting close to the end of his sermon. And so I told the pastor that, and he was like, that's funny, because his boys, whenever they were about my son's age, started picking up on that. And then they were like, the more Jerry says perhaps, the more likely somebody is to come forward. And so they kind of had a bull going. It's like, okay, he said, 5 perhapses and 3 maybes this week. Well, I took that and then I made an image. I used the image of him preaching this, the past Sunday, and said, make him in a Christmas sweater with the word perhaps on it. You can't tell that it's not real. Like, it looks so real. He showed it to his sons and they just died laughing.
That's funny.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yep, perhaps. So,
Perhaps.
yep, if you want to put Christmas sweaters on all of your animals, then AI is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Probably going to do that later. I mean, I won't lie. Shameless 10-year-old using of AI.
That's right.
Here.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for
absolutely.
kind of talking to us about this. Do you want to? Is there anywhere somebody could get a hold of you or something like that? Do you want to talk about your church for a sec or whatever? If somebody liked this and they wanted to talk to you, is there?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, you can come find our church at 208 Austin Avenue in Brownwood. You can go to fbcbwd.com, and that is our church website. You can email me there, Keith at fbcbwd.com. But yeah,
Sweet.
you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Keith Platte. Not Twitter. I don't know why I said Twitter. Instagram, Facebook. You can find me on Twitter. I haven't used it in like 8 years, maybe. So it's just like a cesspool. So
That's how old it is, because it's called X now.
it's yeah. I don't use Twitter.
Twitter. Everyone still says Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, sweet.
You,
Well, awesome.
you can find me on MySpace.
Yeah.
Oh, that good old MySpace.
There you go.
That's
That brings it
in the
back.
day. Bring back those memories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, awesome.
Well,
Well,
cool.
thank you so much for
Yeah.
hanging
Thank
out
you
with
guys.
us. And
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
chatting
Had
with
fun.
us. Fun one, man. So this was
Yep.
really fun.
All right. Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you guys for listening to Raising the Wild Ones podcast. I know me and Caleb are just a couple of redneck theologians, right? Kind of came up with that term a little while ago, and it's just kind of making us laugh. But that's really just what we are, right? Every single one of us is a theologian. Sit there and just think about the Bible, and me and Caleb are rednecks, so that makes us redneck theologians. And so we just thank you guys for listening to us. And if you want to just give us a holler and let us know about topics you may want to listen to, or things you may want to say, or if you have an idea for a guest host, or if you yourself want to be a guest host, just drop us a line. Just let us know. Just give us a ring on the old telly. Actually, not really. We don't have a cell phone number, right? But we do have an email, and you can send us an email, right, at raisingwildonespodcast@gmail.com. There'll be a link for that podcast down in the description. And so just kind of click on that and just let us know what you guys want to hear from us. And we like to hear from you guys too. We like to know what you guys think of our podcast. And so also just tell your friends, share it on social media. Just let people know when you're sitting down having a cup of coffee with your hunting buddies or fishing buddies. Just say, hey guys, I listen to this podcast. It's these two rednecks, and they're kind of weird sometimes, but it's fine because they talk about some cool stuff. And so just let people know, and that's how the word gets out, and that's how it gets shared. So we just thank you guys so much for your support and for listening to us. And yeah, tune in next time for more from the Redneck Theologians.
Hey, Wild Ones. Do you love what you've been hearing? Our deep dives into theology, Bible stories, and the Word of God? If so, we need your help. For just $6 a month, which is less than a cup of coffee these days, you can join our Patreon community. It's a simple but powerful way to support our mission of sharing the gospel with as many people as possible. And when you join, you'll get some awesome perks like early access to episodes, detailed show notes, and even biblically accurate coloring pages you won't find anywhere else, trust me. Plus, we're giving 10% of everything we receive straight to missions, so your support goes even further. So click the link below in the show notes and join us on Patreon today. Let's keep raising the wild ones together.